Hey everybody, haven't been vlogging in a while, so it's good to be back in the vlogging game. Today I'm going to be talking about attribution, in particular switching from last click attribution to more of a linear model. So before I get started, what are attribution models in digital marketing? Well, it's basically how we credit a conversion, and you can attribute these conversions to customers' first click, which means the first ad they click on, last click, the last ad they click on, or a combination of multiple clicks. And there are some benefits, and what I'm preaching to today is going to a more linear way of measuring conversions for businesses, and there's a few benefits. So one, you tend to reach customers earlier in their purchasing cycles. You can find opportunities to influence these customers on the path of conversion, helping to optimize placement of your ads. Two, it's going to better match with some of your business goals and help you really understand how each facet of advertising is impacting your business without jumping to conclusions about which campaigns are working and which aren't. And then with that, it really does help improve your bidding to what I was just saying. I mean, last click is really inefficient at telling you what the effects of things are, like a display ad or potentially two search ads that may have come up and you might not be giving credit for. Have an idea in your head of what other options are out there. So we already talked about first click and last click. Those are pretty obvious. Now the next ones that I want to talk about is the linear one, which is, for me, my favorite one right now, and that's because it distributes the credit of a conversion throughout the life of the ads that were clicked on. So for instance, let's say I went on to Google and I decided to search digital marketing services. Mission Disrupt comes up and I click on it. And then next, what I decide to do is I browse around the site, but I'm not exactly convinced, so I leave. I go a few days without going back to the site, without looking up anything about digital marketing, but I get a display ad, a remarketing ad for Mission Disrupt. And now I decide that I'm interested again. I click on the ad, I go back to the site, and maybe I browse around a bit, I read a blog post, but ultimately I have to go back to work, so I X out of the website, right? And then the next step, maybe a week later, I go back to search, remembering Mission Disrupt, and now I type in more digital marketing firms. Maybe I was gonna look at another one, but a Mission Disrupt ad catches my eye, and I say, well, you know what? I've already heard of these guys. I've read a blog post because a remarketing ad drove me there. Let me give them a shot. I see the search ad, I click on it, and I fill out the form. Now, in last click, only that last search ad would be credited. But that's not necessarily true, because the problem is that the other two ads were a big part of how I discovered Mission Disrupt and how it made me, or how it convinced me rather, to go with that decision. So in linear, it actually splits it into a third across the way. And now I understand as a marketer that my search campaign and my remarketing campaign, they were equally as important as that last click campaign. So that's why I like linear, and that's my top favorite. There are some other ones. Time decay is cool as well. Pretty much it gives credit to the ad that was closest in time to the conversion, and pretty much it distributes the rest of the credit with a 7-day half-life kind of decay model, if you will, and it kind of distributes it a little bit weird. Not my favorite, to be honest. Position-based is another attribution model. It gives 40% of the credit to both the first and the last click, and the remaining 20% is spread out to any other clicks that were, or any other ads that were part of that path. Not as bad as well, because you're taking in mind discovery, the final stage, as the two most important ones, are the discovery ad and your final ad, and the middle gets some credit. And then finally, Google's last one is really a data-driven linear model. So the distribution is actually credited based on past data of conversion action that Google actually aggregates. I can't talk to it as much because obviously that's a Google algorithm. So somebody knowing it as well as Google doesn't really make sense. But so a big takeaway from this video is that you should really just look at those attribution models and make sure that you are understanding that you're getting the big picture of everything that's going on in your digital marketing. It's not enough to just say that one ad drove conversion, because the chances are you have multiple digital campaigns going. You really want to make sure you understand the whole scope of everything that's happening. So make sure you switch from last click to some type of linear model. Guys, I hope you have a good day, and leave some comments in the section below. Let us know what you think. Let us know about the struggles that you might be having right now with conversion tracking, with attribution models, and we'll see if we can answer them in new videos. Thanks.